Hey everybody, this is Dr. Willie Jolley.
And this is Dee Taylor-Jolley.
And it is Happily Married Monday with the Jolleys here at the Jolley compound in Washington, D.C. at our studio in our kitchen that speaks to so many people seem to like our kitchen and said, you know, I feel comfortable like I'm at home when I'm with you in your kitchen. So we welcome you to our kitchen. We're doing a special program this evening because we know so many people are concerned.
I'm concerned
about the crisis in our country and around the world called coronavirus. And the fact that it is impacting
every aspect of our lives.
It's disrupting every aspect of our lives, disrupting businesses, disrupting churches, disrupting governments, disrupting finances, and therefore it will disrupt some marriages. And so we wanted to contact you, confer with you.
We wanted to share with you our thoughts and how we're dealing with the issue.
Absolutely. So first of all, recently, and I'm going back to my computer because I want to share something with you that it is not just a illness that is impacting people health-wise, but businesses. There's in Fortune magazine this week, the company British airline called Flybe went out of business.
What is Flybe? Spell that. I never even heard of it.
Let's see. Flybe. And Flybe went out of...
Flybe?
Maybe Flybe's. But they went out of business this week because it was directly a result of coronavirus. And so we've seen...
Oh, the fear of the coronavirus.
No, they couldn't get the money. Their venture capitalists said there's not enough people flying on the plane for us to continue to invest. We cutting the cord and it's done.
Okay.
And they went out of business. And they told people who had tickets on Flybe that the last Thursday they went bankrupt and all his flights being grounded and passengers being warned not to even try going to the airport unless they had flights lined up with other airlines.
Wow.
So we have seen businesses, go out of business. We bet there's some marriages that are being strained and pressed to the limit on a number of factors. One of them is the fact that there is the health concern.
We're just getting a message. It looks like Italy, the prime minister said there's going to be a total lockdown on the country.
Wow. So we've got countries being disrupted. But we know there's got to be some marriages that are being stressed, pushed to the edges. So we wanted to talk to you about it and how we've dealt with it. Maybe you can get some...
Or how we're dealing with it.
Oh, wow, we're dealing with it. That's
so
right.
The topic is how to handle the coronavirus in your marriage.
How to handle the chaos.
Okay, how to handle the chaos. Because there is chaos.
Yeah.
Everyday living stresses us out.
Right.
With everything on our plates. But the coronavirus has moved the stress to a whole nother level. Now, they're even talking about and implementing self-quarantine. What in the world?
Yeah.
Even self-quarantine. And I think that relies on people being willing to cooperate. And there's a case right now where a daughter returned who was showing symptoms of the virus, but who self-quarantined, did the right things, called the health authorities, and the family was told to self-quarantine. It means to stay in place. But the father did not and took his daughter to a prom or to some kind of social. Now, there's a big controversy that is still just unfolding. So it is stressful for everybody, and I can say that I freak out in stages.
So
I freak out in stages. It was
Okay, tell about the stage. Well, let me start by saying my wife is a germaphobe regularly. When we got married, she was a germaphobe.
So I love Clorox.
Love Clorox. Clorox girl. She should have major stock in Clorox.
Yes.
Because since we've been married, one of our friends...
I bleach everything.
One of our friends...
I use bleach in the dishes. I use bleach when we used to have the old, before we went through the renovation and the old wood floors. The old wood floors are very dark. By the time I finished bleaching them, they were light brown.
So our friends Lamar and Kim McLean used to call her bleach girl when they came by. So we got no bleach in our house. We got no bleach, because she would bleach everything. So she's always been... Bleach
cuts the oil, like in the frying pan. If you're frying stuff, it cuts the oil and it allows everything to through the sink, and the pipes, cleans everything out.
So we've always had this...
I've always had a love affair with bleach
and
disinfectant.
And I am the other extreme. So if you read the book, oh, by the way, somebody might be joining us who don't know that we have a book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. Comes in book form, audio book form, and seminar on CD, as well as a workbook. Well, if you read the book, you notice that one of the things that we had to deal with our marriage was that she is a germaphobe, she's anal, and
we have very different styles.
And she has to have everything in a certain place.
But we both adjusted, and that's what we want to talk about. And the reason that we're able to adjust...
on the other hand, am not. I said, why make up the bed? When we got married, why make up a bed when I'm going to get back in it that night?
So,
but
communication has been a godsend for us.
Yes.
And how we communicate on so many different levels. So, specifically, we're going to talk about the coronavirus and how we are communicating in that sense.
Right. We're going to talk about that. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about how do you handle if the two of you have
slightly different styles. So let's
level
get into it.
But not just style, level of
comfort with germs.
With germs. So sorry. Right.
With that, well, in this case,
cleanly,
with the virus. Let's just be very specific with the virus.
No.
What?
We might have the same level of concern about the virus. We just don't.
But your implementation is very different than mine, which would suggest that your level of concern is different.
Well, you're concerned about all little germs, every little germ. Every little germ over the years. You're concerned about is somebody we're gonna get Ebola. And Ebola didn't even come over here, so it's gonna be some sort of.
I am going to be prepared. Let's move on.
So, how do we handle it?
It runs the gamut from schools being closed. Let's take D.C. today.
Okay.
We had two schools. The school without walls. I think it was the international school that shut down because of concerns. Somebody had contacted or been in contact with someone else. But the key is now if the schools are shut down, mm-hmm. even though there are only two as of this moment in D.C., then the kids are home. Do you have to have somebody to watch the children?
I would think so. But
if they're young, not only the children stay home, but the parents are impacted. Let's take it a step further.
You way down the road. We haven't even gotten to this one issue that we have not dealt with effectively. You are the Clorox girl. It's gonna be all right. Okay, it's gonna be all right. So, what do we recommend for the couple who's stressed out about that? Because we got systems. We have systems.
Well, first you have to talk about the fact that you see the situations differently.
Okay, so that's one of our systems, that we talk, that we communicate.
The communication.
All right, so marriage.
So we talk and we listen. Because just to talk, we could just kind of talk over each other like we're starting to do right now. But it's that we actually listen to each other.
I listen to you. So when you are talking, I'm listening, but I don't.
But
I don't I don't do the same level of bleach that you do. I don't do the same level of.
But you don't
behind.
prevent me.
So that's the
from
thing,
doing
and that's the thing I wanted to get to, Dee. That's really what I wanted to get to. So let's say that there's somebody watching here who I'm gonna give the husband. The husband is the germaphobe because it doesn't have to be a wife.
Mm-hmm.
The husband's the germaphobe, and the wife is one of saying like me. It's gonna be all right. So here's what we recommend, or here's what I recommend that you do. Lean toward the one who has the greater fear, anxiety, concern. Go with their way rather than that making them go with your way. Why is that? I want to go Dee's way because that will help with her security. And marriages that have security are less stressful, are less anxietyful, and are more harmonious. So I lean into her perspective. That's the lesson I want to teach everybody. Lean into their perspective. If it's the male wife, lean into his perspective. Go along with him because he is concerned about it, and that concern creates security issue or insecurity or stress.
It causes stress.
Yes.
Let's take, for example, yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday, church, and then a political function. Church, they have signs now. Please use hand sanitizer as you come in. So they got these gigantic pumps of hand sanitizer, and you all over your hands. Then in church, you elbow bump as opposed to shaking hands. And when we used to hold hands when we're praying, we now link elbows. I'm with that. I like all of that. And I like the 6-foot rule. Is that 2 centimeters, whatever? About 6 feet, because your spraying when you talk can travel more than 6 feet. But they're saying at least 6 feet apart. But that doesn't happen. Then we went to a political function. A political function where we were on the list of hosts, and I was inclined not to go.
Even though you were the one whose name was the leading name on the...
I was inclined not to go because you press the flesh when you're in political situations. It was a fundraiser. And I call what my husband does in any political situation, he glad hand. Ha ha! How you doing? Ha ha ha! And I'm like, I am not doing that. So we had a conversation. We were talking about this ahead of time.
We did.
I'm saying, sweetheart, if you glad hand, okay, but then you're going to get paroled immediately thereafter. I, on the other hand, how are you? A fist bump, then a parole. An elbow bump, even better. So we come from 2 completely different perspectives, but we honor and appreciate each other. And I carry the hand sanitizer with me, which is something that we also did when we were on the Get Motivated tour.
Yeah.
I always had the hand sanitizer, and Perel is a brand name, it could be. I always had the hand sanitizer in my pocket because you shook hands with everybody. And I didn't want you hands to the face or to the food. We always did that.
Part of this is that we go back to one more point that we talk about in our seminars. The fact that I'm an extrovert.
I'm an introvert.
And my wife is not. And so she's more comfortable being not around people. I love being around people. I get energy from people. So if there's a function where there's an opportunity for me to be around people, I'm more apt to want to go because that's where I get great energy. So that said, I tend to hug, shake hands with folks wherever I go, and I'm not conscious of any illnesses, germs, problems they may have, I tend to hug folks.
So I do the
Shake hands.
hand sanitizer immediately after when he turns around. I say, give me your hands. Let me do it. That's just the difference in how we operate. Now, all of this is called leading to what we call being stressed out. Now, I actually have some research. I have time to share a little bit.
All right.
A little bit of research that says there are 3 main problems that lead to stress, which the coronavirus brings up all 3 or causes all 3. It says number 1, being unfocused. With the coronavirus, there's so many competing ideas. It's almost like every few minutes there's a new announcement. If you got CNN or something, it's always popping up. So you're like, I don't know what to concentrate on yet.
Well, like you just did with the Italy thing, came across our computers.
So number 1, when we're stressed, it means that we're not focused. There's so many different stories and set of facts or opinions that are going on with the coronavirus. We can't focus. It causes us to stress. Number 2 is fear. Our brains get excited when we hear negative or bad news. Did you know that?
I didn't know
Our
that.
brains get excited because it's trying to find out ways to calm the situation. So we're like, it's kind of like that fight or flight.
Yeah.
Something happens, you're like, and you're all excited trying to figure out how to handle it. So you are not focused.
Yeah.
The coronavirus makes us fearful. And then lastly, we're worn out. Our brains are tired. Our brains get tired from a lot of activity. And this particular research said, you know how your brain is tired?
How's that?
When your eyes are tired. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah. And I was sharing that with Cheryl because last Friday she was like, I am like so tired. So your brain is tired, your eyes feel tired, you just feel fatigued. And that's when we start to make mistakes. And we get moody. So you're stressed when you're like not focused, right? You're fearful, you can't quite figure out why, and you're upset, and then you're fatigued and you're tired, and it just makes us all very moody. Makes us all just very moody.
So what do we do about that situation when this couple who's looking right now is saying, I am fearful, I'm unfocused, I'm fatigued, this coronavirus concept is wearing me out, I don't know what to do.
So, number
there's
1.
stress between the 2 of them.
Yes. So, number 1, we have to communicate our frustrations and talk to each other. How about that?
I think that's a big part of it, is talking to each other and not at each other, but to each other. We talk about the fact that she's a concerned person about
Everything.
little germ. Every little germ.
Coronavirus is a virus, it's not a germ.
But I'm saying you like the little germs too. You're concerned about everything. Little germs, little viruses, little everything.
So we talk about, and then we have a sense of humor, which I had to develop, okay? So I'm able to laugh about the fact that, okay, I'm a germaphobe.
Yep. You are.
He makes me laugh about it. He makes me say, you're just so over the top. But okay.
I still love it.
We'll work through it.
And we work through it. We work through the germaphobe. We work through the sloppiness or the not as focused on.
So we talk to each other, we listen, and then we laugh. I think that's very important.
Talk,
that we really have
listen, laugh. That's a good one. Talk, listen, laugh. Talk, listen, laugh. I want you to laugh more. I want you to listen more. And talk to each other more. It'll have a profound impact on your relationship.
So sometimes you're laughing at yourself. I laugh at myself because you point out in a very sweet fashion, Dee, you're just kind of like over the top all the time. Oh, okay. I still like me. Yes, I am, and you love me.
I do.
So it's okay.
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
So then I would say number 1, we're going to talk, we're going to listen, and we're going to laugh together.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then number 2, decide how we're going to behave at events. So when we go out in gatherings, how are we going to behave so one is not driving the other one crazy? We decided that before we went to the events, and I expressed how I was feeling. Even before, I was so happy when I got to church and saw all the things that they're sanitizing the hands beforehand.
Dap them up, dap them up.
Because I was not going to shake hands anyway. Now, there can be some concern because some people say, well, how do you not hurt somebody's feelings? I'm like, I don't care. What? You have coughed and now you want me to be polite and shake your hand? I don't think so.
Not gonna happen.
So here's what it is. Hey, I love you. I am not shaking hands. I don't know the 15 or 20 people that you talk to or where they've been. So this is why we have community spread. Do you understand that?
Yes.
We have community spread because you don't know where that person's hands have been. And I simply have to say this. There are a lot of people who go to the bathroom. I only know about the women in the bathroom who don't wash their hands. Why would I shake hands in this today? Why?
I don't know. I just like people. And I figure I'll go wash my hands after it's over.
You don't think about it. But you shaking hands with 10 to 15 people before you get to the bathroom.
Or more. I'm shaking hands. People come up to me all the time. Willie Jolley. Wow. Hey.
I'm not shaking hands. All right? I love you. Oh, not doing
we
that.
were at a conference on Friday I was speaking at. And people come, hi, Dee. Oh, how you doing?
Mm-hmm. That's what I was doing.
I'm hugging and touching. And so
then I have to remind them, go to the bed. So you come
and
up
then she
with
reminds
your
me.
plan.
She always reminds me. She always does. As soon as
His default position is to shake hands, and that's who he is. So I am the sanitizer everywhere.
Everywhere, and then she said, now go to the bathroom.
Yes.
Wash your hands.
Yes.
Go to the bathroom.
So, number 2 is decide how you're going to behave at the event.
Okay.
So is one person going to have the if you are so different like we are, who's going to have the sanitizer and who's going to remind you, now go wash your hands. Right? Mm-hmm. So you can glad hand, which is what you like to do. Mm-hmm. You can elbow, you can fist bump, or you can just wave from a distance of 6 feet, which I'm very comfortable with. Okay. Then number 3, disinfect everything. I have no problem with that.
She has no problem with that.
I have
No problem.
alcohol. And I read and I say, follow up. Look it up that says if you have alcohol and aloe vera, the two together become a disinfectant. Do the research for yourself. Because who wants to spend $10.69 for some Purell, which they say is like impossible to find now. So
we want you to get back to the things that you as a couple need to do. You need to talk to each other. Listen to each other. Lean toward the one who is more cautious or anal or concerned. Lean into them. Give them security. I leaned into her.
Yes.
I said, okay, I will be more mindful, or I will...
Then I support him by making sure there's hand sanitizer and that I remind him to go wash his hands.
Right.
Particularly when we're at functions and you're glad.
Yesterday, people were coming up wanting to take pictures. You were over on the other side, and 2 or 3 people came up and said, "Oh, Dr. Jolley's here," and they would get up close to me and want to take a picture. And of course,
so if you're close to me, I don't want to breathe then.
You know.
But I do laugh about. I realize that I have issues. Okay, so talk, listen, laugh. Decide what the behavior is going to be when you are out in public. I mean, some people even, they wear masks. We're not there.
No.
We do that when we're on the plane, and we have not even been on the plane. Disinfect your surfaces as often as you feel necessary. Cheryl complained that I had sprayed everything down. At the end of the day, I kind of spray everything down, and I go through and wipe. It's satisfying to me. The disinfectant is satisfying to me that I have sprayed everything down, I've wiped everything down, including the keyboards and everything and all the desks. Okay, and so that's 3. And then I said number 4, never pass the store. We did that yesterday.
We went store to store.
We were out tooling after the church, the fundraiser. Then we were kind of tooling our way back to the house. I said, let's stop by every store and see if we can find some sanitizer, some Purell, which we did not. That was under $10.69, so we didn't get any more. Okay, be willing to. This is something they talk about. If one is suspected of having something, and you self quarantine, you're in the same house. What do?
I don't know. We haven't done that. We haven't done
They
that.
say, I read all the stuff. They say sleep in separate beds.
We've never slept in separate beds.
We've never slept in separate beds.
And we both had illnesses over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Had the flu or the bug or cough or a cold. And so
y'all have to decide what self-containment means and how you're going to do it. I don't know. That was one recommendation.
I don't know. That's a recommendation. I don't know. I can't give you a comment on that because we've never done that. All right, go ahead.
Okay, and then there's a Dr. Amit, A-M-I-T, Sood, who is with the University of, he's with the Mayo Clinic Resilience Program. And he's written this book that talks about give your brain some rum.
What is rum?
R-U-M, which means rest, uplift, and motivation.
Ooh,
So you can remember rum.
Rest, uplift,
and motivation. So it means.
And if you want that, you can tune in every day to my Get Up Morning with Erica Campbell. Get your uplift and your motivation 8:20 Eastern Time on the Praise Network across America. If it's not in your local market, you can go to getuperica.com at 8:15 on your phone, on your computer, and tune in and
so your
listen.
motivational minute would be the rest.
No, it would not be the rest. It would be the uplift and the motivation.
Well, I guess it could be all three.
It could be.
Because the rest is take your mind off of
the negative.
The tweeting, all the things that are coming in,
I got
right?
a great quote today that I just took.
And look for something or listen to something that's uplifting, and then look for a word of encouragement. That's what.
Here's a good one I just got
for.
today while I was riding my bike. Negativity is like a flat tire. You won't go anywhere until you change it.
Oh, I like that. Say that again.
Negativity is like a flat tire. You won't go anywhere until you change it.
Oh, that's a great visual too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got rum, which is really the resting, the uplifting, and the motivation.
Yes.
Which they can get from your
Wake up
motivational minute. Wake up.
Wake up, get up mornings, and wake up a win with Dr. Willie Jolley on Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell.
8:20 a.m. and
7:20 Central Time.
You got it.
Okay.
And then 7 says, "Be grateful."
I think that's one
we
of the
are
ones.
So appreciative with all the challenges that we have each other.
You know, I was really impressed this week with what's the gentleman who does Jeopardy?
Alex Trebek.
And he has been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and he's made it through the first year. And he talked about the key was a positive attitude. He said a positive attitude has kept him going. And that's what we want to say to you, that we are here to give you some uplift, some encouragement to stay married, first of all. And many people are struggling in their marriages for things that are fixable with a little bit of a positive attitude.
Better health, better wealth, and better sex.
Ooh. So
for healthy, happy marriages.
Yeah. So work on your attitude. We recommend when you get the book, we were in Richmond over the weekend, and we had a podcast interview we did with Corey Mosley on his Fearless Entrepreneur. He and his wife, Ziamar, they bought 2 copies of the book as recommended, and said it had such a profound impact on their marriage. We recommend you get 2 copies, one for each of you. At the end of each chapter, there's jolly advice. There might be 10 or 12 points, whatever number of points.
Which is a review of the chapter.
And we want you to go through each chapter, get to the points, and discuss them. So, and discuss what you've written in the book,
answer questions.
But what's this called here? In the margins. Or you've underlined, or things you've learned about yourself. It will help your marriage, help your relationship, and then get the workbook. And the workbook, we have one around here somewhere, is at jollymarriage.com. Go to jollymarriage.com. And we think we're going to do a virtual seminar, because people don't want to travel on planes and don't want to be
kind of like
maybe in big rooms. We'll have one. If you're interested in being in our virtual seminar experience and you want more information, send us an email at info@williejolley.com, info@WILLIEJOLLEY.com. Well, our time is up for the week. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay married, stay blessed. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
And this is Taylor-Jolley.
Jolly out.
Jolly out.